literally how to execute every part of his business incredibly well. And so he's here to teach you guys and maybe enhance. We've got a lot of good closers here, but he is one of, if not the best. So we're bringing up Charlie Cowell.
Bert, how much time do I have?
23 minutes.
That's it. 20?
3.
Hey, tell me when I have 5 left. I want to know that, all right? All right, so I've changed my talk a little bit. There's a handout coming out. It's going to have some information that you may or may not hear during this talk, because I'm going to shorten it up a little bit and I'm going to change it a little bit. When Bert and I talked about this, we kicked around some different ideas about what this talk should be titled. And that's fine. That's good. We kicked around talks about what this should be titled. Closing the sale, overcoming objections. And I probably talked to more people about this talk than any other talk that I've given. And the title of this talk is Everyone Buys, Nobody Walks. So I was going to kick this off by talking about the customer walking in and what they've gone through to get to our sale, right? But we've already heard that about 3 times. Haven't we? Yeah. Our guns are loaded, right? So I'm going to switch that around. Let's talk about what happens when the customer doesn't buy. You hear me? Better? What happens when the customer does not buy? What happens to your salesperson when their customer doesn't buy? What do? They're deflated. What do? Zig Ziglar likes to talk about this. My favorite book is called Zig Ziglar Closing the Sale. If you haven't read, how many of y'all read that book? How many of y'all read that book at least twice? If you haven't, you're missing out. So he talks about, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so he talks about that particular person is going to have their own private little pity party, right? But they don't have a private little pity party at our sale. They come to the front desk and wherever he's writing up orders, like, God, you know, that customer just didn't want anything. I don't know what happened. You know, I don't know what's going on there. So they have their own private little pity party with everybody on our home team. What does your coach or band director see? People walking out, right? Okay. So what else happens when somebody doesn't buy? They don't come in next year. What happens if the customer is walking in, that person's walking out saying, yeah, I just didn't find anything. Their prices are high. Okay? What's the size of the check to the school? Lower. What's the size of, what's your chances of going on the trip? Lower. What's your net income? Lower. So think about all of that. We talked about the importance of buying, but there's a reason the customer has to buy. So our mindset in Birmingham, Alabama is everybody buys. Nobody walks. How many of you in this room, and be honest, give your staff the authority to drop $500 without even asking you? Raise your hands high. Y'all are screwing up, okay? My staff, I tell my staff, nobody walks, they all buy. You have the authority to drop $500 without even asking me. Got it? Guess what they believe when I say that? Everybody buys. And they have the authority. Now, I coach them along the way, and we're going to talk about this. You don't drop price like a rock right off the bat, but that just lets them know we're expecting everybody to buy. If I see a ticket on a Wellsville and $600 is marked up the price, I might ask that person why they had to do that much. I won't criticize them, though. But if somebody walks, I'm going to say, what happened? Okay? Really important that you guys believe that. In our business, even though we say that we will drop $500, we have top 5 average retail in the company year after year, and our high percentage of people buy. And part of the reason for that is something I'm going to talk about that's really important in this as well. Zig Ziglar calls this the belief close. Okay? If you are convinced, you can be convincing. Sales is a transference of feeling. If you believe, the customer will buy. I'm going to give you one quick example. How many of y'all have had a customer that won't lay on a mattress? Okay? So I'm going to talk about somebody who's not convinced. Nicole, who works with me, is working with a customer. She comes walking up to me and says, I can't get this person to lay on the bed. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? I said, just watch and pay close attention, and she will be laying on a bed in 3 minutes. So I walk up to her. I said, so she's standing next to the bed. He's laying on the bed. I said, y'all having fun? Clearly, we're not having fun. Like, what are y'all looking for? Oh, we're not really sure. Is this your favorite? Well, we're not really sure. And so we kind of go back and forth. I said, look, here's the deal. When somebody comes in, we have all these different beds, right? Our goal is to help you find something comfortable, because we know you're here to support the school. I mean, you're here to support them, right? And you know our prices are great. So what we try to do is help you find something you like, because then once you find something you like, as long as we know that feel, then we can take you to something more expensive if you want, or we can take you to something lower, okay? So how do you sleep? You sleep on your side, or, okay, well great, lay down, and then lay down, and so boom, she's on the bed. In 2 minutes, because I'm convinced, and what I mean by that is I'm convinced that there's no place any person can come and buy a mattress and get a better deal, help a school, and get support. And what I mean by that is I can look customers in the eyes, and I do it all the time, and say, look, part of the reason you should buy from me is if you have a problem, I'm not going to give you the runaround. What happens if you buy from the store? Oh, they come by, they put a string across your mattress, and you don't have an inch and a quarter. They say, sorry, no warranty. I don't make house calls. If you got a problem, I take care of it, and I don't care what it is. And by the way, if I don't, you call that coach right there, and you say, Charlie's a lying scumbag, and he'll never work with me again. Boom. Confidence. It's easy. And what I mean by that is when we do this properly, we do everything that we've talked about, we've guided the customer through, okay? We have helped them select their favorite bed. Really important. Y'all get that, right? It's a real simple process. If the customer's looking for a guest room bed, it's something on the side, firm. There's only about 5 options there they'll try. Soft, there's about 5 options they'll try. Something in the middle, we're going to tell the customer, okay, I'm going to show you one bed that comes 3 different ways, firm, soft, and in between. You lay on all 3 and tell me which one you like best, and we'll go from there, okay? Boom, they do that. Each time we ask them, which is your favorite and why, like Mr. Davio tells us, we guide them through the process, they pick their bed. If we do that, and then when we get to quoting price, this is really important. We create value. We don't start selling the bed until we find the one they like. See, so many people tell everything about the world about a mattress, and the customer lays on, I don't like it. Waste of time. When you find the bed they like, then you start selling. Okay? Well, this feels good on your side. Really? Well, talk about that for me. Your side sleeper? Okay, then I want you to think about this. Support here, pressure relief here, pressure relief here. How does it feel compared to this one? Hey, when you're on your side, I only want you to think about this. All I want you to think about from this one to this one is pressure relief here, and tell me which one you like better and why. Okay? It's easy. They get to their final bed. We're about to quote price on a Wellsville 14-inch gel as an example, okay? Why? Because that's our #1 seller.
Good choice.
Yep. So we get to that bed. We have a big old poster from Tempur-Pedic, right? Showing that Tempur-Pedic's $46.99, we're $2,099, right? We show them that. We get them on the bed, and we got to build on a value, we're going to quote the price, and we say, look, here's the deal. Here's my phone, okay? Here's my phone. This bed right here, look. See this at Amazon.com? $29.99, right? Check this out. Our price, $19.99. Pretty awesome, huh? You want pickup or delivery? How do you want to get that?
Delivery.
Well, while y'all talk about that, I'm going to get my clipboard and I'm going to write it up, okay?
All right.
Come back. My point being is this. If we do everything right, what I'm about to talk shouldn't have to happen. In 80% of the case, if you build value, create value, and you quote price properly, I don't care if they've never laid on the Intel bed. They know the price of the Intel bed on online versus our price every single time. Because that creates value, and we quote price. That $19.99 seems like nothing. Okay? Now let's talk about, let's see how I'm doing here. Oh, one thing I want to add. When we talk about closing the sale, what we do is not high pressure sales. It's called high confidence sales. Because again, we believe in everything we do. So it's just easy for us to do. So when we get to that Wellsville and that customer balks a little bit, they say something about the price. You have to remember this. Most of the time, when they tell you no, they don't really mean no. What they're really telling you is they're unsure, they're 50-50 on the fence of whether they're going to buy or not. So that signal, that's my time to be convincing. That's my time to go back, build value. I just told y'all that we drop $500 on a price if we have to, right? This is going to take me a long time before I drop price at this point. I'm going to build value. I might offer a free bed protector. What I typically, and we'll talk about payment options, things like that. But the biggest thing I'm going to do is I want to make sure that that customer loves that bed, because the customer's only going to buy the bed that they love. And like Zig Ziglar likes to say, nobody's going to pull out a big wad of cash for a little bit of value. You've got to make sure they love that bed. We've built value. So I'm going to try to take them down a step or two. So, okay, you like this Wellsville here, it's $2,099. Let me just ask you this. Is it okay if I show you a couple beds that are a little less priced and you can just kind of get a similar feel and you can kind of see what you like? Because again, we don't care. We're here to help them. We just want you to get something you can afford that's perfect for you. So in that case, we're on the Wellsville. If you know your mattresses, I might go down to like Easton, which is like $300 less. I might take them over on the side to maybe like a Tranquility Sleep Systems bed, which now you're a lot less. What typically happens when you've gone from the Wellsville and you go all the way over to that mattress now? Do they like it or not? No. They're like, oh God, no, this is terrible. Now, you know what sometimes happens? They say, yeah, I actually like this and I like it just as much. And they'll pay for it, right? But typically they're not going to. They're going to go back like to the East End or something like that. And now you're focused on which one to like better and why. Okay? If they like the East End, you know what East is, right? You guys all have that, or Maple River, something like that, Maple Avenue, whatever it is, $300 less, they might just take it. But again, I want to know which bed they like best and why, so I can focus on that bed. And then at that point, you might just ask the customer, well, look, now if they're back at the Wellsville, because that's the one they really want, it's really easy for you to say, well, look, I know you want this bed, but let me tell you why this bed is so much more than that bed, right? There's a difference. I mean, that bed's good. It's got like 2 inches of gel. This one's got like 5 inches of gel. 5 inches, right? So you're building value. You're building value. And then, I mean, every time I do this, it's almost like half this happens. Like, you know, you get to that point. If they haven't offered a price yet or anything, it's easy to say, well, look, you like this one. Obviously, you can understand why it's more than that one, right? Let me ask you, on this one, how much too much is it, or something to that effect? $500. $500?
Whoa.
Yeah, I was saying, that one is $300 less, and you think this is $500 worse? But guess what just happened? What have I just done? I have sold that mattress for $1,599 and made $1,000. You realize that? I made $1,000 on that bed. But I'm not giving it to him yet. I'm like, 500? How about that one back there we just showed you for the 300 less? Will that work?
Oh,
Yep. You want that one? Well, obviously, you know I can't do that for that price, right? But I'll tell you what I want to do. We work with schools. I'm here at Oak Mountain today. We paid the school $30,000 in 5 years, $6,000 a year. You can see how busy we are today, right? A lot of what we do is based on referrals, okay? So I'll tell you what, I'll see what I can do, but if I give you a really good price, I want you to help me next year, all right?
Sure.
Fair enough? So I go back, play with the calculator, do whatever, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to meet him halfway. I'm going to be at 250. You know, again, we'll talk back and forth. If he doesn't do it, I'm going to disappear. I mean, I'm doing this faster than I normally would, but get my calculator, and I'm going to maybe offer $400 and a free bed protector. I mean, I'm going to make it painful so he feels it. And think of our customer. Most customers, they're not assholes. If you build value and make it tough for them, they kind of get it, and they'll want to do it. Right? So you shouldn't have to do it, but you should feel very comfortable doing it. 5 minutes left, okay? I want to touch on one example that's a slightly different one, where the customer says we're going to lunch, or we need to go think about it, whatever. I think there are a couple things. Michael Dabney does a great job. I like his style a lot. I thought we were going to be able to help you out today. Bert told me a great line, which I think is brilliant, and it's, well, we can't let you take the mattress with you to go to the restaurant. Meaning you have to be on the bed beside it, right? I always like to say something to the effect of, okay, well, great. Before you go, let's just do this. So you can be deciding on one mattress. Let's make sure that this is your favorite. Lay down again, okay? And then reinforce every single reason why they liked it and everything like that, okay? Again, in this case, the asking, typically when you get asked that, it might be separate from little price issue. You might want to take them down to bed. But again, the biggest thing is get them focused on that particular mattress, get them laying back down. You cannot negotiate this at the table, all right? And sometimes it's even tougher than that, and you may just have to talk to the customer and say, look, you know, I know you came here to support the school, right? You clearly need a bed, right? But I can tell that, you know, something's holding you back, right? Do you mind if I ask you what's holding you back? You know, real humble, lower your shoulders, ask that question. Again, I'm speeding up more than I planned on, so I apologize for that. I'm skipping a lot of stuff. I do want to give one example because this just happened. I think this really ties into what we call the belief close, which I again think is the most important part of you being able to sell and you being able to sell is your belief and your passion. If you are convinced, you can be convincing. So a guy comes into our sale, and we're going to call him Mr. Dickies, because I had never seen this before, but he was wearing a yellow Dickies jumpsuit. That was probably, I mean, it had to be 40 years old. So he and his wife come in. Brian works with me, greets them. Brian is taking them through all their beds, doing his thing for them. And then I see a lady with them, and I recognize her. I'm going to be a little over time. I'm going to be about 2 minutes, so I'm going probably 4 more minutes. Okay, well, let me just keep going. Yeah, so Mr. Dickey, tell me my train of thought again. So I see the daughter, I see this lady, and I recognize her, and I say, I know you. And she says, yeah, I bought 3 mattresses from you last year. I'm like, awesome. What are you looking for today? Oh, I brought my parents. He's a retired engineer. He's waited 6 months for this, but he is going to be an absolute pain in your butt. He overthinks everything. I'm like, great. So Brian's working with them. Brian has them on the Tranquil River. You all know the Tranquil River, right? Yeah. He's done a great job. They've tried 5 beds. That's the bed he wants. Okay? Brian quotes a price, $27.99, delivery, tax, everything, bed protector, pillows. They're at $3,300. Okay? And I'm kind of watching this, and I'm interacting with her a little bit. Brian does something that's surprising, but it's really smart after thinking about it. He takes them over to the IntelliBed. He says, let me show you one more. He puts them on the IntelliBed, and they're looking at the IntelliBed. Now we're on a $4,000 bed that's $5,000 IntelliBed. So I talked to Brian. I'm almost done. I talked to Brian, and I'm like, Brian, did you show them the comp for IntelliBed? He says, oh, no. I'm like, you stupid son of a bitch. So I'm like, it's too late. I said, so I walk up to him. I didn't talk to him yet. I said, he's on the IntelliBed. I said, nice bed, huh? I said, check this out. Here's their price. Here's our price. We're beating it by $1,200. And all the beds are just like that here. I just walked away. Okay? So now he says, basically he gets on the point where he's going to leave. It's done. He says, I hear him say that, we're just going to go think about it. I can't really decide, we're just going to go think about it. And I hear that, and I just kind of walk up, and I introduce myself, talk to him a little bit more, and I said, hey, I just want you to, I just got to tell you all something. I can't let you leave. I can't let you leave without buying. I'm going to tell you why, okay? Your daughter bought 3 mattresses from us here last year. She brought you here, right? She told us that you waited 6 months to come here. If you don't buy one today, you're going to wait another 6 months to sit really uncomfortably. But I'm going to tell you why you need to buy from us. I've worked with this school, Oak Mountain, and that coach right there for 5 years. I paid them $30,000 in 5 years. 40 to 50 people each year don't come buy mattresses from because our prices are high, or because we don't take good care of them. If you have a problem of any sort, I will tell you, I will take care of it. I'm not going to give you the runaround. I don't care if it's a comfort issue, warranty issue, or whatever. Okay? And there's no way I'm letting you walk out of here over a couple $100 on a mattress. So what do we got to do? And he basically says, if you can give me that one for $3,000, I'll do it. So again, where was this guy? Was he saying no? He was 50-50 on the fence and he just needed convincing. I wrote the ticket up, it was $29.67, out the door, done. But I'm going to tell you one other important fact with this. Because this guy's an overthinker, all right, I told my staff, watch the door, I need to stick with this guy. Brian wrote her up, and he and I sat there and talked. And so he starts telling me all these stories. He's like, yeah, I walked out of a car dealership over 25 bucks. And the guy chased me out, and we split it for $12.50. I'm like, yeah. I said, what did you want? He said, I want a deal. I said, that's right. Everybody wants a deal, right? I said, and you got a damn good deal. So, again, sometimes you got to keep selling. The sale isn't closed until they're out the door. But I just want to show that one example because it just happened. And just in general, I mean, there's a lot of great people who close here. I think if your confidence is high and you believe in what you're doing, it makes it easy for you to come up with answers to people's problems because you believe that there's no way that you should buy from somebody else.
Right.
Thank you.